Welcome to this training video. Look, if you have a list or a database that maybe you're marketing to and not getting results with, or you're just looking at a different way to get more profit out of this list, this is exactly what we're going to be covering in this exact video. We're going to be going over my 3x3 list harvesting strategy, along with templates that you can swipe and deploy for your own list marketing. So with that being said, let's dive right in. So like I mentioned, we're going to be going over the 3x3 list harvesting protocol, the exact strategy you can use to revive dead leads, create immediate cash, and perpetually profit from your list. Now, you'll get access to the Google Doc down below, and make sure that you watch the entire video. I'm going to be going through exact examples, templates, and swipe and deploy. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So if you have been doing any type of marketing or sales for some time, you probably have heard of the fortune being in the follow-up. And Constant Contact actually says that the average ROI for email marketing is 36 to 1, which is absolutely unheard of with ads and basically any other form of marketing. Now, if you pair that with outbound phone calls, you'll be able to absolutely dominate, and that's exactly what this guide is going to show you. Now, if you're not using email and phone in tandem, you're leaving heinous amounts of sales, revenue, and profit on the table. So with that being said, your flow will be very simple, and you're able to leverage this week in and week out, because not only are you able to extract profit from your list, but you're also able to continuously give value and develop rapport with your list. So step one, you're going to be sending an email from one of the templates below. Step two, if you get any replies, you're going to prioritize reaching out to them first via the phone. And if you're sending out an email with no replies, which will make sense here in a second once we go through that, then you're going to go through and see who clicked and prioritize them, and then see who opened and prioritize them last. So on Monday, you're going to be sending a phantom offer. You're going to call the replies. On Wednesday, you're going to send either value or proof. You're going to call the clicks who didn't book, and then you're going to call the people who opened but didn't click or book. And then on Friday, you'll send a direct call to action. Same thing, you'll call the clicks who didn't book, and then the people who opened but didn't book or click, you'll call them last. And so this really helps because you're not just like randomly picking up the phone and calling people in your database from like 6 years ago, but you're actually able to see who's interested and prioritize them first, since they are most likely the closest to the money. So, make sure that afterwards you check out the entire PDF in the description down below. I actually added in here a bonus that you'll be able to use to revive dead leads like Frankenstein. So email one is going to be your phantom offer, and the entire goal of this email is pretty simple. We just want people to raise their hand, and the way that we do this is through using a carrot. This can be a PDF, a Google Doc like the one that you're doing right now, which I'm also turning this Google Doc into a training video. It can be a cheat sheet, and the call to action is to respond to the email directly. So this is an example of a hand raiser or a phantom offer that we did for one of my clients. Hey, contact first name. One of the holy grails for lowering your taxes is achieving the coveted title, real estate professional status. 90% of the time, this single strategy can completely wipe out someone's tax bill. The problem, people get it completely wrong. I put together a free training sharing how to achieve real estate professional status and the big 5 pitfalls to avoid. Want it? Just respond with the word status. Now, this exact campaign, we did 2 hand raisers, and I think we sent it out to a list of like 300 people, and we got 8 replies, which is pretty good, right? Like, we're reviving 8 leads. It didn't cost them anything whatsoever, and we were able to get those people re-engaged and have a salesperson hop back on the phone with those people. And this works for somebody if they've never booked before, and this also works for people if maybe they booked but they never became a client. So that's a cool thing, right? And so let's say you don't have a video or you don't have a training put together. Then what you can do is you can basically say, hey, I'm thinking about putting together a free training. If you want to be one of the ones to get access to it when it drops, then just reply with the word yes, or something along those lines, right? So in my own business, this is just an example. I was thinking about doing a Done With You coaching program, which I didn't end up doing, but I was able to get 12 replies on a list of of less than 200 people, and basically says, hey, been getting a lot of questions, been getting on a lot of calls with people who want high ticket tax planning clients but aren't quite in a position to partner with us yet. So if I taught you how to go from zero to consistently engaging high ticket tax planning clients, would you be interested? Just respond yes so I can have an idea if other people want this or not. So this is an example of if you don't have the strategy, you don't have the lead magnet just yet, you're able to get like a feeler, and then you'll see what we do with these people who respond later on in this video. So that's what we're going to be doing on Monday. We're sending out that phantom offer. We're trying to revive some dead leads. Now, on Wednesday, we're going to send them some value or some proof, okay? And this specifically, this can be on Wednesday and Friday if you don't want to do a direct call to action. But I like doing direct call to actions, which we'll get to in email template 3. So this one is where we're going to establish credibility, and we're going to show that you know your stuff. And two of my favorite ways to do this is sharing tips and providing value, or sharing results and proof of how you've helped people via a case study, which is where you just show what you did, or a client testimonial where you can interview that person and they tell how you help them, or you can just have them specifically tell them. But I like to interview the person because then you get to control the narrative. So the call to action is for someone to go and look at the case study and book a call, or to directly book a call from the value email. So this is an example of a proof email back when I had my restaurant marketing agency. Hey, before story, after story, and then basically, hey, click here to hear Adrian's story. Now it's gonna go to, in my case, I embedded it on an actual page, and then underneath it, you can have a button that sends somebody over to a calendar page, or you can just have an application form right underneath, right? So they'll see the email, they'll click the button, and it'll go over to a page that looks like this, or you can send them to, directly like to a YouTube video, and then have the link to book a call in the description of the video itself, right? And so if you're just going to put value in the email, let's say you don't want to get on camera, you can take the exact same thing that you would put in the video, and you can actually put it into the email itself, right? So this is an example of something that you could use, right? Tax planning is kind of like a recipe. You can give two people the same ingredients, but one will turn out way better. Oh, sorry, this is an example of if you make a training video, right? And so let's take me and you. I guarantee you can run circles around me when it comes to managing your business, but when it comes to saving taxes, step back, LOL. So if you want to learn the recipe our clients are using to save $50,000 on average and how your business can possibly do the same, check out this training video I just dropped, okay? Now, again, if you don't want to go on video, you can take whatever you would say, like let's say you're going to do a strategy of LLC versus an S Corp. You can take that exact same thing and you can put it in the email itself. And then at the bottom of the email, instead of sending them over to the video, you just send them over to your calendar link instead, okay? Now, the third one, this is just a direct call to action. This is the shortest and the most direct email. And on this one, you're just going to go straight for the ask. And here's an example. Hey, if you pay more than $150 per year in taxes and you want to pay less, a lot less, then book a call with me here. We'll take a look at your current tax saving strategies if you have any and see how much you're overpaying. Then if you wanted to, you could do another call to action, but that's pretty much short and sweet. Now, if you want to build more value, then instead of sending this email on Friday, you could just send another value video, okay? So now that we have the 3 emails out the way, the next part is where the phone calls actually come in. So when it comes to the phantom offer, okay, you're eliciting people to send back a reply. So in this case, right, when I was doing my hand raiser, I just said, hey, just respond yes so I can have an idea if other people want this or not. Well, AJ responded back and he said yes. Now, if you're getting the replies, do not immediately send them the training. Instead, you're going to call them first, and the call's goal is to qualify them and book an appointment. Okay, now the framework that we use on a call, it's IPCO, which stands for intro, problem, cost, and offer. And here's how it works. You're going to reach out to them and you're going to open up with an intro. Jim, it's Nick here with Mark's team. Saw you were interested in lowering your taxes. Saw you were interested in getting real estate professional status. Saw you were interested in cost segs. And so for the sales guys, right, like what they can just check the email and see what the email was about, right? So for me, you know, I would say, hey, saw you were interested in the 6-week cohort, okay? And I'm going to send over X, right? I'm going to send over the training and want to make sure I get over any other content that might be helpful. Mind if I ask a few quick questions? And that's your intro. Notice we're framing it as a benefit to them, and then we're going to move into the problem phase, right? So yeah, go ahead. Okay, cool. So Jim, what's your biggest problem with your taxes? And then they're going to tell you, I have no strategy in place. I'm only talking with my accountant once or twice a year. You know, I don't feel like they're bringing anything to the table, and I'm always the one having to come up with ideas. And then you can ask if they've tried anything, how long they've been trying, and you can open it up to a little bit more dialogue. And then we're going to move into the cost phase. And this is where you ask them what they think it's costing them. So again, we have our intro, okay? And then we have the problem, and we want them to tell us the problem, not us tell them what we think it is. Then we're going to move into what it's costing them. Got it. So you've been looking at lowering your taxes for 3 years. If you'd figured out how to lower your tax bill, how much extra money do you think you would have right now? And they're going to tell you, and then you're going to flip it back to them. Got it. So what you're telling me is that not solving this problem is costing you an extra $100,000 per year. And they'll say something along the lines of, yeah, that's right. And now they're fully aware of the problem and how much it costs them. And now it's real because they've said it out loud. So now we make the offer, and the offer's simple. Got it. Well, Jim, if I could help you recover even half of those tax dollars, would it be worth a short chat? 99% of the time, they're going to say yes, and then you can go ahead and book the call. So to recap, we're going to do an intro where we tell them why you're calling, and we frame it as a benefit. The problem, we want to find out what their problem is or what they think their problem is with their taxes. Then we're going to ask how much it's costing them and make sure to flip it back to them. And then we're going to ask them if they would be opposed to meeting and how you can help. So this is the same framework that you're going to use if somebody replies, but it's also going to be the exact same framework that you use if you send a value video or a direct call to action and somebody clicks a link, but they don't book. And so the way you do it is you just run a quick report. You can see like in this one right here, for example, I went into my email marketing software and I said, hey, on this email that I sent, show me all the people who opened. And then I can click into their profile, right? Based on the ones who opened, like this one clicked, so he would be my first one that I would go to. And I use the exact same script. Hey, saw you were interested in lowering your taxes. Mind if I ask you a few quick questions so I can get some more helpful resources over to you, okay? And so that's pretty much the framework, right? Again, you do 3 emails a week. The first one is going to be, let me scroll all the way back up here. First one is going to be the phantom offer where we're eliciting replies and then we're calling those replies. The second one is where you're sending value or proof. And then if they click the link, then you're going to call them. And if they open the email, then you're going to call them. And then the third one is the direct call to action where we just say, hey, go ahead and book a call with me here, or you can tell them your guarantee or your offer in this direct call to action. And so if you want, make sure that you go below this video and check out the entire Google Doc where I actually have a bonus email in here as well. It's called the 9-word email and it works like gangbusters. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. I hope the 3x3 list harvester was super valuable. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you on the next video.